Hi guys, welcome back to Yoga for First Responders and our healthcare workers. Today I wanted to offer some movements and just some gentle stretches that you can do while seated in a chair. Whether you're at an office desk in a chair or maybe you are seated in your rig waiting for the next call. Just some little movements you can do while seated. So let's go ahead and begin. Wherever you are at, try to just sit up nice and tall. Maybe you scoot forward a little bit towards the front of your seat, or if you don't have much space around you, just try to sit up nice and tall here. And we're going to begin with just a few shoulder rolls, just making some circles with those shoulders, bringing them up towards those ears and then down and back. Just starting to find some movement through the body. And try going the opposite direction a few times with those circles. And then we're just going to do one more big shoulder roll up and back. Just try to allow those shoulders to relax here. See if you can feel your feet connected with the ground beneath you, whether you're in your car or in an office or at home. Bringing those hands just to the front or the tops of those legs. Take a moment here, maybe you close those eyes or just find a gentle downward gaze. And just notice how you're breathing. Beginning to feel that breath as it comes into the body and noticing as it slowly goes back out of the body. And as we bring our awareness or our focus to our breath, for these next few breaths, let's try counting the breath. So on your next breath in, just take a little mental count. See how long it takes you to breathe in. And the same thing on your breath out. Just counting in your mind how many seconds it takes you to breathe out. Just observing the lengths of your inhales and your exhales. Maybe they're the same. Maybe they're different. But for a few more breaths here, let's try to even out those numbers. Maybe even see if you can breathe in to the count of 4 and breathe out to the count of 4. Giving yourself permission to make those breaths a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, depending on how they feel in your body. But just trying to make the inhale the same length as the exhale. Let's take 5 more breaths here like that. Just one more full breath in and long breath out. Feel free to let go of the counting, just coming back to your natural breath, but just know you can come back to that counting anytime throughout if you just need to bring that focus back in. So once again, let's find a nice tall spine, bringing those hands just to the tops of those legs. We're going to move through the spine and through those hips a little bit. Some seated cat and cows. Especially if you've been seated for a little while, it feels really great to get that spine moving through those hips and all the way up to the head. So on that next inhale, let's sit up even taller. We're going to lift those shoulders up and then draw them down the back, slightly turning that gaze up as well. And then on the breath out, drawing the belly in, bringing the chin towards the chest, and just allow those shoulders to relax. Again, inhale, we reach the chest forward and then lift it up tall, shoulders drop down. And exhaling as we round through the back. And as you continue to move here with your breath a few times, try to take that movement even deeper into the hips. So as you breathe in and lift through the torso, try to tilt those hips forward, really point them forward out in front of you. And then on the exhale, draw those hips back in. Maybe tuck that tailbone underneath. 2 more times each direction here. Last time, as you inhale, opening through the front of the shoulders, the front of the torso, and exhaling as you round, opening through the back. Now slowly we're gonna come back to center, back to that neutral spine. And we're gonna bring our right hand to our left knee. The left hand, depending on what kind of chair you are seated in, you can maybe bring it underneath the chair or just to the side, or if you're in a car, you can even bring it to like the door handle. So as you breathe in, once again, sit up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head. And on the breath out, just turning that gaze to the side or even behind the body. Finding a gentle twist through the spine, and you can use that hand that's on the leg or the knee for a little bit of resistance to help you twist a little bit deeper. Let's just take 3 breaths as we pause here, and just try with each breath in to sit a little bit taller. Then each breath out, you might be able to twist a tiny bit deeper. Just one more breath here on this side. And then on an inhale, slowly making your way back to center, and we'll switch sides. So we'll bring left hand to right leg or right knee. Right hand can come underneath the chair to the door handle or wherever works for you. And as we breathe in, sit up nice and tall, find some space or create some space through the spine, and then exhaling as we twist. Just turning that gaze over that back shoulder. And as we pause here, just allowing those shoulders to drop down away from those ears. About 2 more breaths here. As you breathe in, lifting a little taller through the crown of the head. On the breath out, finding that twist. And then as you feel ready, you can slowly come back to center. Okay, so as we find that neutral spine, our next breath in, we're gonna reach these arms all the way up. Now I know if you're in a car, those hands are gonna touch the ceiling. Now we have a couple options here. If you are in a car, try bringing those hands to the ceiling or the roof of the car, and then try just walking those hands back behind you. If you're not in a car, so you can do a similar thing. Just try to lift through the torso as you reach those hands back behind you, or maybe even do some cactus arms, dropping those elbows down and back. If those hands are on the roof or the ceiling of the car, you can try walking them out a little bit wider. Again, just try to reach those fingertips back behind you. Coming back to center. And then on the next breath out, go ahead and lower those hands all the way down. All right, so we bring those hands back to the legs. We're going to bring our left hand, again, it can come underneath the chair or to the door handle, but just bring it down to where something you can hold on to here. Inhaling, we're going to lift tall through the crown of the head, and on the exhale, we're just going to bring the right ear over towards the right shoulder. So just finding a gentle stretch and lengthening through the side of the neck here. Now, if you don't really have something to hold on to, especially if you're in the car, another option to take this a little deeper would to bring the right hand up to the side of the head and just allow the weight of your arm to gently take that stretch a little bit deeper. So just try to use what you have around you in your space to take these stretches a little further. One more breath here. And then on the next breath in, go ahead and bring the head back up to center, the hands back to those legs. Take a moment to pause, to observe, to notice the neck, the shoulders, how everything feels. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll bring that right hand to the chair, to the handle, wherever works for you. Inhaling as we lift tall. And on the exhale, just bringing that left ear towards the left shoulder. Maybe you bring that left hand up to the side of the head. Again, we're not pulling the head down. We're just allowing the hand to rest on the head and the weight of the arm and gravity to help to do the work here. Just one more breath here. And then on an inhale, go ahead and come back to center. Both hands can come to those legs. Okay, one more little thing. Let's try to open through these hips. So, depending on your space, once again, it might not be doable, but give it a try. Bringing that left ankle above that right knee. Now, sometimes, again, depending on space, you can also just try to cross at the ankles or maybe in front of the shin. And so just find what works for you. We'll bring both hands to the leg here. And as we breathe in, as always, we want to lift and lengthen. And then on the breath out, we're just going to gently start to fold over those legs. So we're just hinging at the hips, try to stay long through the spine. Just take a moment to breathe, to notice that left outer hip here is what we're going for here. And just about 3 breaths as we pause. Try to keep awareness on wherever you feel a sensation of a stretch. Breathing into that area. And when you feel ready, on an inhale, slowly coming back up to center, uncrossing that leg. Again, just take a moment to pause and observe through the body, maybe through the back and those hips. And then when you're ready, we'll switch sides. So bringing that right ankle above that left knee, and just try to draw that knee away from the body, pressing it down towards the floor and out. And on our breath in, we lift and lengthen. On the breath out, gently begin to fold over those legs. Again, you might not go very far, and that's totally fine. Just try to reach the chest or the heart forward and down. And just bringing awareness to what you feel throughout the body. Try to find that breath. 2 more breaths here. And then maybe on an inhale, we come back up to center. Uncrossing those legs. Take a moment, you can just shake out those arms. You can move around, maybe stand up if you're able to. Just sway side to side. And there you have it, just some gentle movements and stretches that hopefully you can do anywhere as you're seated or standing at home or at work. So thanks for joining in. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.